Welcome everyone to my channel. My name is Kaz and I'm an intuitive and a healer. In today's video, we're going to explore what is my main goal this lifetime. We have 3 piles to choose from today. Pile 1 is the Smokey Quartz bracelet. Pile 2 is the Turquoise bracelet. And pile 3 is the Rose Quartz bracelet. The timestamps will be below and you can scroll directly to your reading. And I'll see you there. Group 1, welcome to your reading. You chose the Smokey Quartz bracelet and we're going to explore what is your main goal this lifetime. So I'm just going to tune in here. Okay, so for you, Group 1, for some of you, what I'm getting is you've come into to cleanse abundance issues. So you may have lived lives previously where you lived in poverty quite a lot, and so this lifetime you've come to experience abundance, but in a positive way. So sometimes abundance can be negative in the fact that you have an abundance of money, with that brings power, and that power is used negatively. In this lifetime, it's abundance with positive use. Some examples of positive use of abundance is to give to charity, to support people who don't have as much money as you, to do good works in the community, to support others in ways that they can't do for themselves, particularly very poor communities. So what I'm getting is there's a fair bit of karma associated with this, and I'm getting 2 distinct groups here. So for some of you, what has happened in past lives is you may once have been abundant, but you squandered the money through bad habits such as gambling and drinking and whatever. Or you made bad investments and you regretted the investments, or you tried to gain power over other people because of this money. And for some of you, that was inherited wealth. It wasn't wealth that you earned yourself, and you had quite a high position in society and you abused that level of power. So then you had quite a few lives because of karma in poverty, where you had to struggle to make money and you've had to struggle to eat and have shelter. And what's happening this lifetime is that karma is balancing out. So you may not have been born into wealth, but you may be making your own, or you may inherit it or win it. Whatever it is, there's money coming to you if you don't already have a fair amount of money. But the lesson this lifetime is to use this money to benefit others rather than just yourself. So that doesn't mean that you can't spend any of it on yourself and you can't make yourself comfortable, or you can't have luxurious things around you. But what the lesson is, or what the goal is to have a balance in that. So it's up to you in the end and what you decide to do with it. You might find that if you come into money, or if you already have the money, sometimes you're really pushed, or sometimes you really have a strong desire to do reckless things with the money. And then it's like another side of you says, well, that's not very sensible, that's not using it wisely. And it's almost like you've got the cartoonish angel and devil side of you around the money. And it may be that perhaps you grew up with money and you were reckless when you were younger, and you're starting to realize the impact that recklessness has had on others, and you're changing the ways that you view your money and position in life. Okay, for others of you, it may be that this lifetime, or the goal in this life is to change your attitudes around money, and there may be some family karma associated with this. So it might be that your family going back 7 generations has had an issue with money and never getting ahead, so always being in poverty or just above the poverty line, and maybe they do get ahead sometimes and then it's lost again. So you're here to break that cycle, and you've taken on that family karma. And what this then does is it changes the energy around generations to come, but also generations around you. So it might be cousins and siblings, so your age generations, but it also changes the energy for generations that came before you. So even if those generations have now crossed over, it still changes their energy. And those generations, when they reincarnate, they don't have to live that again. So just say, for instance, you are working through some family karma and you're lifting a family pattern of losing money. That then will impact not only your future generations, but also karma of anyone from your family line that reincarnates again. I hope I explained that sufficiently to you. But the impact energetically, basically, is very widespread. Now, sometimes with reincarnation, our ancestors come back into our family, so that's where that might be felt. And also anyone who's crossed over before you came onto earth or into body, that has set up as your guardian angel or one of your guides, it affects them too, so that clears their energy as well. They live the lesson with you. So that's really interesting, group 1. I'll just see if there's anything else here for you. All right, so the message I'm getting is that it's not just money, it's abundance of anything. So it might be abundance of loving people around you. It might be an abundance of great ideas that you have that can be turned into something. It can be an abundance of luck in all areas of your life. So it's fine to accept whatever gifts you're given in these areas. But the lesson is to reciprocate as well. So to receive and also to give. And so the balance of giving and receiving is what this lesson or this main goal is about this lifetime. And your souls are wanting to come into balance in this area. As souls, your higher self recognizes that money is an energy rather than a thing, but the energy has been misused before, so it wants to now use it in a more balanced way. Okay, group 1, that was really interesting. Thanks for viewing me today. If you'd like more of this content, please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Welcome, group 2 tea reading. You chose the turquoise bracelet. I'm just going to tune in now. What I'm seeing, your main goal this lifetime is to connect to animals and other species. So it may not just be animal based, it might actually be alien based, so off planet based. And you are here to learn a lesson about connecting, communicating and caring for other species. So it may be that you're drawn to a career or have a focus on preserving habitats for animals, or working with animals directly, or you might work in the field of astronomy or astrology, so off-planet things. You might work on space missions, or you might have an interest in alien artifacts or alien contact. You may have had an interest as a child in anything to do with outer space, because in other lives that you've lived, you may not have lived them all on this planet. And now your goal is to raise awareness of the fact that man is not superior to anything at all. We're not superior to the smallest little ants on the earth. We're not superior to gigantic elephants. We feel like we're superior, but your main goal is to come in to show us that everything has an energy and everything has feelings, and that habitats are being destroyed by our carelessness and our need to control our environment. So you've come through as a spokesperson for animals or other species. So whatever your work entails around this, or your hobbies entail around this, you're making others aware that what they are doing has impacts on things that they can't see or things that they can't feel. I feel that as a group, you are very sensitive to animals, even little insects, flies, cockroaches, all of those things. Like, you're just wanting to look after them, because a lot of mankind does not look after them. I feel that for some of you, this interest and this drive to look after other species stems from at least one lifetime where you were held in captivity. So I'm actually seeing Planet of the Apes, where it's kind of flipped on its head, where the humans were the captives and the apes were dominant. But I'm feeling that it was actually humans poisoning animals, and you stood in their way. So it may be that you do have a longing for this, but it does scare you for some unknown reason. Like, it does put a lot of deep fear into you, and you're trying to achieve this goal very, very quietly, because of the trauma from this lifetime that you experience of being held captive and tortured, I would say, because you tried to change the beliefs. For some of you, I feel this was a religious-based action where it was almost like, because you had such a close connection to animals, you were either called a witch, or you were accused of practicing black magic, and you were persecuted for it. For some of you, you haven't been on Earth for many lifetimes. You may come from other galaxies, other planets, your star seeds. So you've come for two reasons. One, to have that connection with where you came from, and another, to increase awareness of humans so that they understand that if people believe in extraterrestrials, it doesn't mean they're crazy. It just means that it's an extra way of living. The other one is to increase the awareness in a subtle way that there is the possibility that other species exist outside of Earth. As a general collective, there's a lot of fear around this. As a human, on a whole, as humans, a lot of people are scared about this. Now, this awareness is becoming more common, and the fear is going to gradually dissipate. So part of your goal is to help with normalizing, if you like, the idea of extraterrestrials and beings from other planets. In 30 years, there's going to be an incident or a connection that will be very well known publicly, and that will open up a lot of eyes and clear a lot of karma around alien encounters, because a lot of this was shut down because of misuse of power. Some aliens have certain powers that they've brought to Earth before, and the power was misused by some. So it was part of the Earth's karma was to clamp down on it and to actually stop using whatever it was. It might be technology, it might be something else, it might be a perception, like an extrasensory perception. So that was part of the Earth's karma, and you're here to start opening. I do feel like it's a great big wall, it's a huge wall, and you're here to start filing away some of the mortar in that wall, to start breaking down the wall. Now, your goal this lifetime isn't to get a bulldozer and break through it. Your goal is to just start hinting that there may be more than what we know. Because humans can be very close-minded to some things. And there's certain stigma associated with trying to explain these things to people who don't want it explained to. So just be aware that you don't want to go at this with a sledgehammer. You want to just gradually, subtly live your truth, essentially. And others will then start to be curious about things. What you want to do is, what your goal is to start stimulating curiosity in others. A whole what if this was something? And that will start to snowball. In about 50 years, it'll be something that the new souls coming to Earth will be a lot more open about and a lot more accepting of. And then we will start to see and experience extraterrestrials coming to Earth from there. So 30 to 50 years, we'll start to see something. There may be some sort of proof, and I say proof in inverted commas because of course there'll be some people who don't believe it, but there'll be something that is seen by so many people and documented in many places in the world that it's going to almost be irrefutable, but people will still try to break it down into a hoax. but the new souls coming to Earth will be a lot more open-minded about it. So there we go, group 2. You're either working this lifetime for animals or extraterrestrials, but other species in general. So I hope you enjoyed that reading. If you'd like more of the same, please subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Group 3, welcome to your reading. Now I'm getting this sense of deja vu. I feel that you, for some of you, you may have come into this lifetime to repeat something from many other lifetimes. So this might be a theme. So just say it's a theme of you're someone who has been a builder throughout quite a few lifetimes, and you're here to repeat that theme now. Or it might be that you're someone who's been a healer through many lifetimes and you're here to repeat that theme now. So it's like a repetition, but it's like with this repetition, you're pulling all the skills you've had from other lifetimes into this lifetime. So there may be old practices that aren't known now. There may be old skills that aren't known now that you're going to bring into your whatever you do. So it may not be something as tangible as building or healing. It might be something that's quite different. But you've been building up to this lifetime for several lifetimes. As you're going through this lifetime, in your early life especially, you might have found that you had an interest in this. You might have put it away maybe in your 20s and you're starting to pick it up again. Or you might have been sidelined into something adjacent but not quite there, and now you're starting to pick it up again. Or you might have been born with just this focus on this one thing and you've always wanted to do it. Because it's almost like it's in your DNA, if you like. It's really just so strong in what you came to do here. But you may have to experience other things along the way that do sideline you into other areas of life for you to, before you can fully step into this goal. I feel that some of you might even be in the military, and that's something that has happened, or that's something that you've done in other lifetimes, and you might have been in different streams of the military and learnt different skills. So it can be very wide and varied, whatever this is, but it is like I'm hearing deja vu again, because you're repeating not so much the lessons, but more the main theme of the lifetimes. So if you have ever done some past life regression and you know about some lifetimes that you've lived before, you may find that in some of those lives you were doing something similar to what you do in this lifetime. Some of you might be dancers or really enjoy dancing, and that's because you spent other lifetimes with the theme of dancer or entertainer. So it can affect any area of your life, but it might be, you may have a hobby that you really, really love, but it's not your main career, but you might find that you sideline into something along those lines because it is your goal to experience that. For some of you, I'm getting that you may actually have had lifetimes as well where you wanted to do this and you were hindered from doing it. So for instance, you might have been someone in a royal household who really wanted to be a healer and help people, but because of their position in life, they weren't allowed to do it. Or they might have wanted to be an architect, but because of their position in life, they weren't allowed to do it. So it can have a lot of connotations with that. Yes, so I'm getting there's at least 3 lifetimes that you have experienced this theme, and it is coming, for most of you, it's coming to the peak here. So for some of you, you might actually reach mastery in this specific area or the specific theme in this lifetime. For some of you, there's still a couple of lifetimes to go before you reach mastery. But once you've finished that theme and you've reached mastery, if your soul decides to come back, if that's part of your divine blueprint, then you will start a different theme or go back to a different theme. So it won't be something that's repeated yet again once you reach mastery. All right, Group 3, that's all I have for you this time. If you enjoyed this content, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.